We met thanks to the interwebs. We met on Match.com, and the reason that I ended up getting online to date was because my cousin made me think that it was normal, it was good. So I was happy that she did that, and we met on December 12th, 2012, and I feel like he secretly planned that because he knew that we were going to end up together. And we just met at a cocktail bar in Old Town, and it was really casual, and I showed up like completely crazy mess with wet hair from the gym and like no makeup and not even well clothed. Like I didn't think this was gonna happen, and so we just hit it off, and we wanted to see each other again and again after that. So that was really special because it was like an instant thing.
Cool. So did you know right after, like, hey, if I'm not going on dates with anybody else? Yeah,
no, I knew that I wanted to see him again, like, immediately. And like our first text message to each other was somehow our AIM screen names came up in the conversation on our first date from like middle school. And so his screen name was Russ Tennis 06, and mine was Air 06 Dog. Or no, I think he was Russ Tennis 11. And so my first text to him was, so nice to meet you, Russ Tennis 06, and his back was, right back at you, Air Dog. And so I took a screenshot of that, and it's super fun to be able to see that. So, yeah.
So tell me about him. What was it about him? Just even when you went online, like, there's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
What about him specifically drew you to him?
He actually messaged me about, I was really proud of my profile. Like, I spent a lot of time, and I, wanted to show like my complete self. So I feel like I took a long time writing it. And he, his was just simple and sweet and easy. And but his intro line to me was asking which Malcolm Gladwell book I liked, and my response, I think he had to message it 2 times because I didn't respond the first time because I was getting popular and I had to respond to all these messages. So he asked again, and then I responded and said Outliers, and then I said, what's your favorite song right now? And he said Cruise by Florida Georgia Line, which will forever be his favorite song. And he asked my favorite song, which is Staring at the Sun by Jason Aldean. And then we just connected. And then I think we both didn't want to waste any time, so I think we started messaging each other December 8th or something, and then met on the 12th. So that was that.
Well, thank you,
yeah.
Malcolm Gladwell.
I know, seriously. And so that is why our whole wedding is book theme right now. Each of the table names have book names that mean a lot to us, and the ring bearer is carrying the Malcolm Gladwell book down the aisle that was signed by Malcolm Gladwell, and it's just fun. Russell is a book nerd, and I'm a wannabe, I guess. So
tell me about him. Tell me about just the characteristics that draw you to him. How does he make you feel? That was the kind of question.
Yeah.
How does he make you feel?
Yeah, he completely grounds me in every capacity, ways that I never thought that I could be grounded and calmed. And he complements everything that his insecurities and my insecurities complement each other so well. So he didn't used to be very outgoing, and then he met me, and I'm super talkative and will ask anyone anything. And so I started to see him develop outgoing traits, and I thought that was really special because he wanted to take from my good assets, and I wanted to take from his. He's so incredibly patient and humble and kind and generous, and I tend to be a little bit more selfish with just life, and he I feel like he's teaching me a lot about that, and I think it's important to take the good traits from each other and share and learn.
So tell me, when in your guys' relationship did you kind of figure out that he was going to be the one? In
August, I think, I knew that it was really fast, and I knew. And I thought it was kind of crazy, but we were planning you know, trips and so many things far ahead. And so I feel like we both knew. Like, there was never a fight. We never had any, like, bumps. And we went through some hard, like, circumstances were bad. We were moving and new jobs and definitely not, like, easy road. And we, like, did so well with, like, getting over these bumps. So I think that we knew that we could do it together, and we wanted to do it together. And so, yeah, I knew far, far ahead of time. And we first said, "I love you," like February of that year. And he said he wanted to say it first because, we told each other the day after Valentine's Day. He was like, "I didn't want to write in your card because I thought it would be cliche." Because I, like, just said it to him, like, laying in bed one day. And he was like, "I do too." And I was like, he was like, "I didn't want to say it in the card yesterday because I thought it was too cliche to say it on Valentine's Day." But he was like, and so I think I'll always remember that, telling him and his response. And it was, we, like, fell, like, at the same time. And I think we've always been, like, we've just known that's that person. Yeah.
How to give any advice to your future self remembering those hard times? What did you guys do, or how did you guys support each other through those tougher times you were talking about?
He was just always, like, a rock. Like, I always would get messages from him being like, "How are you doing?" Like, checking on me, or we just both knew that we wanted to be there for one another and get through that. So I think that I always knew that he loved me. I always knew that he was thinking about me and had my back, and I did the same for him. So.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how are you feeling today, knowing that you're about to walk down the aisle?
It's, like, so crazy. Like, I'm so happy, and everyone is here that we love, and, like, so many people did so much to help. And I just can't wait to be married to him, really, because obviously this day is amazing, and I've been planning it for far too long and thought of every minute detail, but I'm really, really happy that after this we'll be married and, like, we'll have this day to remember forever. And yeah, I just want to remember the feeling I had when he proposed and the feeling I'm having today, which is just like, I know that he's the person, and I found him and have no idea how, because I moved out to Arizona all the way from North Carolina and then Ohio. So something led me here to him, and I'm just really happy that it's here.
How do you guys see that future together?
How do we view the future?
Yeah, that future you're talking about. How do you see that happening?
I feel like we're basically married already as far as, like, living and housing and chores and everything. But yeah, everything's been easy. We have the same goals and dreams, and we want to go to different places. I know that we want to travel a lot. I know that we want to get a dog as soon as possible. I know that we want to work on our budget and really get our finances in shape. And I know that we want to have children. So I'm really, really excited for that, because he's definitely the person that I want to do it with.
Let's backtrack a little bit. Tell me about the proposal story. Did you know it was coming?
So no, I knew that it was coming sometime soon. I didn't know on that particular day, and I actually didn't sleep that night very well, and I think that it's because you somehow know intrinsically that something's going to happen. So I didn't sleep well that night, and he woke me up the next day, and I was supposed to be golfing with my girlfriend, and I was like, "Oh, like, I'm going to move it, I'm going to reschedule it, like, I'm going to do it later, I'm so tired," whatever. He's like, "No, you're going to go." I was like, "Okay, fine, whatever." He's like, "You know that thing that you've been wanting?" He's like, "You need to go." I was like, "Okay." So I got dressed in my golf clothes and headed down to Old Town, and inside I met my girlfriend in the clubhouse, and she pulled out an index card that he had hidden in my golf bag that said, "You're not actually golfing today with Brandy. Instead, you're going to be embarking on 12 steps throughout, like, our relationship, things that have meant a lot to us, places that we've been together." And I was just like, holy crap, I can't not believe this is happening. And so my first stop was going to the Phoenix Zoo to meet Stacy, a bridesmaid, and also the ring bearer's mother. And Ryan and Stacy were there, and it was so special because the Phoenix Zoo is where we had our third date. And then there was an index card that Ryan, little baby Ryan, gave me that told me my next place to go, which was to go meet his sister Rayanne for nails because he knew that I wanted well manicured hands for pictures, which is amazing that he listened and remembered and did that. And after the manicure, went to have lunch at True Food Kitchen with his cousins who mean a lot to us. One of them is a groomsman, and True Food was where we had like the date. We went to dinner before we went to the zoo. And then after True Food, we went to Top Golf because we just love that place. And like he had all of our friends gathered there, and like everyone was on time. Like everyone was waiting for me, and that was super fun. And then after that, I did a few more stops. I did Costco because Costco is like our #1 place, and I had to take a picture at every stop. That was my assignment. So I had somebody take a picture of me filling the gas at Costco because I was like, this is like step 8 or whatever. And then went to the tennis courts because he taught me how to play tennis, and one of his groomsmen was there that handed me a tennis racket. So that was like a gift, and it was special. And then went home, and there were a dozen roses and a CD made for me because he knew I'd be in the car a lot to drive up to here, where, long story short, he had me go up to the trails, which were my last stop, and he said, drive back down to the place where we'll be over a year from now today. And so he took me to Chiricahua, where we're going to be married in a few hours, and proposed at Chiricahua. So that he could have never thought of anything better, and I could have never planned or pictured or ever thought of what he did. So that was really, really special and like the most incredible day, besides today, of my life. He did an amazing job. It's like out of a movie, book, anything. So he's incredibly like, just, what's the term? Like thinks of everything.
Considerate.
Yeah.
Thoughtful.
So that's why I'm lucky.
Huh? You just be that like every romantic conversation.
Oh yeah.
Perfect day. Is there got anything else?
You guys are doing a first look. What do you hope to see in his face when you guys see each other? How do you hope to feel when you first see him? And again, answer to Taylor.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. When I see him at the first look, I think that I just want him to be like overwhelmed with like happiness, I guess, and just like gratitude. And we know that his mom is here, and she could have been that person that, or thing, or whatever, angel that led me here to him. But I think that like this is a very pinnacle moment for him to see me and be like, this, it was her. Like she did this for me. Because we really do think that she led us to one another. And so I think that he will be feeling a lot of gratitude and thankfulness and appreciation, because he knows that I did a lot for this wedding, and he knows that I'll just be really happy to see him, and it'll be good. It'll be perfect.
So the ceremony's at 5.
Uh-huh.
Right? Okay, so we are 3 hours out.
Uh-huh.
So 3 hours before you are getting married. What do you want him to know about how you're feeling right now, 3 hours before you get married? If he was here, what sorts of things would you want him to know about how you're feeling?
Is my makeup all messed up?
No, it looks
okay.
great.
Okay.
When you try to keep your head in, that way you'll smear your makeup out.
Oh.
Go in and you just pick them up right there.
Wait, where? Like go like this?
Go like this.
Okay.
And just pick them up right there.
Smart. I need to know that. You've done this a few times. I think that if
What sorts of
what would I
things-
want him to know?
Yeah, like what sorts of things do you want to tell him or to let him know about how you're feeling?
I just know or want him to know. I think he knows like how incredibly happy I am that we're like gonna be together forever, and I'm so happy to be joining his amazing, incredible, normal, grounded family. They've like welcomed me 100 times over so well, and I'm so blessed to be joining not only him but them. He definitely doesn't take them for granted at all, but I don't think I've ever told him or shown him enough about how important they are to me and how much they mean to me. And so I think that it would be good for him to know that I am like, words can't express how happy I am to be joining not only him but his family. His sisters, his Kelly, his dad, his aunts and uncles in California. They just have such a strong family unit that like always want to be together, and I think that that is something that I have always wanted that I didn't necessarily have, and I think that I'm so happy that I'm joining that, because I met him and then the icing on the cake was like seeing his normal, awesome family. So.
How do you think he's feeling right now? He's over talking to Thomas, one of our other cinematographers
Uh-huh.
right now. How do you think he's doing?
I don't know if he has as many tears, but I think he's just happy, and I think that he probably could have never dreamt me up as far as where I came from and my personality, because it's kind of all over the place, and I'm nuts, and I guess I'm the perfect kind of crazy for him, so that's why he wants to marry me. And so I think he's just saying, I can't believe I'm doing this because she's nuts, but like I love her for it and I want to be with her forever. I think that's what he's thinking.
So how you feeling, man?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Nice and relaxed and ready to see Erin, and just ready to get the whole wedding busy craziness over with and kind of settle in and just go on with life, I guess.
That's great. Now tell me a little bit about, first of all, how did you guys meet?
We met online,
Okay.
Match.com. 12 was the date, so 12 is kind of a special number for us.
Say that again.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
We met online, Match.com. Our first date was on 12/12/12, so 12 is kind of a special number for us. We went to Coach House, which is a bar down in Old Town, Scottsdale, and just had a couple drinks to make sure that, you know, the online thing, they're not 200 pounds and whatever. No catfishing happened, which was good. And then just went off from there.
I hear a little bit, just not too much. It's not too bad. So the first time, that'd be considered your guys' first date, right?
Right.
So, tell me about that night. Were you nervous? Were you scared? What was your reaction like when you first saw her and met her?
I wasn't nervous, wasn't scared, just kind of a casual meet and greet, and maybe meet someone who you'd spend the rest of your life with. So, but you never know if those are going to happen or if those will pan out. I know Erin did, I think, 2 or 3 other dates, and then I'd been on a couple others as well, but nothing really happened from there. But so the meet and greet is good, and then we went out a couple days after that, and then ever since then, we've pretty much seen each other every day since 2012, so it's been good.
That's awesome. What is it about her that got you hooked? After that first date?
I don't know, we're very opposites, so true case of opposites attract. She'll be the loud one, I'm the quiet one. She's very outgoing, I'm more reserved, so I think we help balance each other out and just kind of bring out some of the worst sides of us. Like I'll be more outgoing with friends and things like that, and she'll be more calm, hopefully today because of me, and more reserved and less adventurous, I guess, but always keeping that. So we'll do things that I would have never have done before because of her, and she'll try and cram millions of things into one day, and I think I kind of help her realize she's not Superwoman, but she'll try to be, and try and be more realistic with what she can do in a day. Otherwise, she'll go crazy.
Now, so after the first date, you guys continue to go out, hang out. What do you guys like to do with each other? Like, what is your, you guys are two opposite people, sounds like, but you counterbalance each other. What is it that you guys like to do with each other?
We'll just hang out together. We do a lot of concerts. We're big country music fans. So we do the Country Mega Ticket a lot, which is 4 or 5 concerts every year at auction. And we'll do lots of concerts, lots of sports. Big ASU and Cardinals fan. So we have season tickets to the ASU games, which is fun. And we'll just hang out with friends, movies, things like that.
Go ahead and take your mic off, or not the one that's clipped to you, not that part.
This part?
Yeah, and just set it up on your lap. You get interference somewhere, so it's going in and out, so I want to make sure. And I don't see it, so. Okay, so tell me about the proposal.
So the proposal was a very long day. I took her on a scavenger hunt all throughout the city where we would have dates, where people we would like to go, and calling I think all the bridesmaids and most of the groomsmen were involved. So she woke up barely. I had to kind of tell her what was happening to get her out of the room, but she wasn't feeling very well, and the first step was to go play golf with a friend. I did that because it would take up a lot of time, so she wouldn't cram a lot of events in a Saturday morning. So she went down to Papago Golf Course and met her friend Brandy, who let her know that she wasn't going to be playing golf today, and gave her a card that told her to go to a nail salon where my sister was. She had to get her nails done so that the pictures down the line with the ring would look good. So she had told me that prior to the proposal, so I knew that getting her nails done was a must. And then from there, she went to True Food Kitchen, which is where Ryan, one of my groomsmen, works, and he's one of my cousin's husbands. So then from there, what happened? She went to Top Golf, which is a place that we like to hang out. She met some friends there. From there, she went to Costco, because Costco is one of our favorite places. We'll go there all the time. So she had to get gas there, and she called my parents, who told her to go to the house that we were living at the time, and she got ready there. She called Mike and Michelle, who Mike is my best man, and they told her to get ready. She had a CD at the house with songs that she plays and likes from mainly country concerts. And then she got a tennis racket. That was a late birthday gift. She's starting to play tennis. I played in high school, so kind of getting involved there with sports. And from there she went to a frozen yogurt place because she loves sweets. She loves frozen yogurt. And from there, Starbucks to get a coffee and meet my sister, who she works at Starbucks. Then she went up to my parents' house, where there were chocolate-covered strawberries and a map. And then she went to a hiking place, a trailhead up in Desert Mountain. And then from there, she went to Chiricahua, where we're getting married. So it all came full circle. And then one of my groomsmen, Jason, he was there taking pictures of us. And so it was a long day. 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then.
What was her reaction like?
She was shaking. Like, you could see her from the stairs shaking. And I think she didn't cry, which I was surprised about, but I guess she had been calling her mom and calling all of her friends, and she got all of her tears out then. But it was mainly shock, kind of, and not really, just so much emotion and not really, I guess, expressing it, but just taking it all in, and it was good.
Go ahead and say that again. Go ahead and talk about her emotion, like the emotion that she had, like what you saw. When you saw her reaction, what was her reaction like, and how did you feel about it?
Yeah, she was just shocked. We really didn't say very many words. I think I was probably supposed to say something nice and blah, 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 leading up to "Will you marry me?" getting on one knee, but I kind of was like so nervous that I pretty much just got on one knee and asked her to marry. And then she said yes, which was good, and just thought she was going to cry, but no crying. She got that all out prior to the day. It was a long day. And yeah, then we called the parents and called our friends. I think she had been nagging me about it for probably a year, so she kind of knew it was coming. But I don't think she expected the whole thing and how it was going to happen, so got to surprise her a little bit.
What are you looking forward to today the most?
Just seeing all the family and friends coming together and celebrating us, and can't wait to see her walking down the aisle. We're doing a first look, so that'll be great to see her, and it'll just be a fun night.
What do you think her reaction is going to be like when you first see her? Or your reaction?
I don't know. She told me that I better cry, so we'll see what happens, but it'll just be a culmination of all her hard work. She's done a lot for this wedding, and I know it'll be a big stress reliever to be done with the night, and it'll just be a fun party, so can't wait to get it all started.
Tell me about what your guys' future like. What do you guys plan on doing afterwards?
Big thing is a puppy. That's probably what she'll say too. Get a puppy probably in December, so maybe a Christmas gift. And then kids down the line, and who knows what else.
How many kids do you think?
2 or 3. We have to have a boy because I'm the only Reese, so there's a lot of pressure with her for that. But if 3 girls come out, then I think that's the stopping point.
All right. How do you feel?
Good.
Yeah, I feel good. So I think we're all set. I'm trying to think if is there anything specific, I mean, like, that you feel like has been on your mind at all that you want to share? I mean, here's a question for you as I talk about this. Tell me about her, like, as in, what made you fall in love with her, and how she compliments you? Like we kind of discussed a little bit about it, but kind of go in a little more detail about what it is that you're ready to marry her, and why is that?
Yeah, she makes me a lot more adventurous. We'll do a lot more things that I would normally just sit around on a Saturday and watch college football all day, but she'll have millions of things to do, which is helpful to get me out and about and meet new people and get new opportunities. She's always challenging me to try new things, so like woodworking I've started to get into, as well as like minor electrical things that she would normally pay for, but I figure I could change a light fixture out of the wall and install ceiling fans, things like that. So it's good too. She's very encouraging, and she makes me feel good when I can help her out, and yeah, it's good.
Okay, my name is Keith Reese, and I am the father of the groom.
Okay, perfect. Now, when did you first hear about Erin?
We first heard about Erin pretty quickly after they met and started dating, and we knew something was different because Russell talked about her right away, and he doesn't do that.
That's what your wife meant to do. So, what was your first impression of her when you met her?
I thought she was, one, for having only dated him for a month, she was very outgoing, very talkative, willing to share a lot and talk about things, and Russell was really comfortable around her and talked around her, and that was a real good sign.
So, you said it seemed different because they talked about her. What point in the relationship did you kind of think, okay, maybe this is the one, they're probably going to get married?
I don't know if there was a single point. It was more of a progression, and they spent more and more and more time together. I think the thing that we were surprised by one time was something after they'd been seeing each other for 3 or 4 months. They said they'd seen each other for 90 days in a row. And that's when I knew it was serious. So that made it fun.
And did you know when he was going to propose? Did he kind of have a heads up?
We knew when he was going to propose because he had the big elaborate proposal thing that went all over the place and ended up here at Chiricahua. And so he thought we'd be the easy one, so he didn't book us early. It turns out we weren't available. So we had to call her on the phone and talk to her instead of be there. It was kind of funny.
Do you know the significance why he chose to propose to her here? I know that you guys got married here.
I think that was part of it, and it was just a special place, and he felt like he sort of wanted to get married here too.
Very cool. So what kind of attributes do they think they have that complement each other so well? Because you can see how in love they are. What strengths do you think their relationship's built on?
Well, I think the strength of their relationship is going to be using both of their individual strengths. So you have people that are, Erin's very outgoing, very try this, social, all that. Russell's much more quiet. He's got more of my personality. And so it helps him to be drawn out. On the other hand, he helps calm her down, have her think about things and not just hop from one thing to another. And that'll be a real positive thing as they go through time.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids now total.
And is he the first one to get married or the last one?
He is the first one to get married.
And how is it today watching that Brian coming down to marry your son?
What's that?
How was it watching Erin come down the
Oh,
aisle?
it was fun. It was exciting. I mean, we've been ready for this for a while. They've known each other a long time, so it was just more a celebration of a commitment, and that was great to see.
And do you have any hopes for, like, what could have been the best part of your day today?
Oh, I think the best part of my day was then they committed to each other to be in a, loving long-term relationship and share that with each other and with God, and I think that'll get them through times.
Perfect. Do you have any further advice for them as they go forward getting married?
No, I know Kelly already said it, and I'll say it at the toast, but, in the really big things, unity, in the not so big things, liberty, and in all things, love.
Perfect. All right. Any further hopes, dreams for their future? Any final words for them?
No, I just want them to have fun, enjoy each other, enjoy life, and enjoy the ride.
So the editors just kind of know who we're talking to. So just go ahead and tell me your names and how you know the couple.
We're sisters.
We are.
I'm
Yes.
Russell, the groom.
I'm Stacy.
I'm Ryan.
Okay, so now when did you guys first hear about Erin? When did Russell kind of bring that up first?
Please tell me, because you were first.
I actually was first to meet Erin. So I was out at a bar, just typical. Just kidding.
Obvious.
Anyway, so I found a bar and I texted Russell because we lived really close together. Our apartments were near, and I said, "You should come out. We're all like hanging out." And he said, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna bring this girl I'm dating." Girl.
I don't think it was
Russell is a girl.
You
No,
probably
well, I didn't.
it was picked out.
And I was like, girl, okay. So I expected her to be super quiet because he's super quiet and shy and everything. And she came in and she's like, "Hi, whoa, I'm Erin." I was like, "Who are you? This is awesome, someone I can finally talk to." So that was when I first met Erin. They'd only been dating like a couple weeks.
Yeah, so she met her
Before you
first.
answer that question, so this may feel awkward. I need you to kind of get closer together.
We love each other.
There you go.
Yes.
On camera it
Is that
doesn't
what
look
you were
weird.
doing? I thought you were saying keep it short.
Yeah, I was trying. I mean like you two get
Cut
to
it down.
No, come yell at me if we have to cut it.
Okay, sorry.
Let me just
Got it.
apologize now.
We're so
Will you
long.
cut that? Will you cut that?
Yeah, just start over. Be like, I first met Erin.
Alright, so I first met Erin, well I was the last one in the family to meet Erin because I have no filter and we have very similar personalities. And so Russell was a little bit nervous that I would scare her away. So I met her with the parents and when he told me that, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be my girlfriend," I was very surprised because Russell I never thought he would ever find anyone.
Who wants to hang out with him for the rest of the day?
Exactly. But when I met her, I was just like, they're way opposite, but they
Work so well.
like, when people always told me opposites attract, like, I believed it once I met them together. So yeah, like her and I, we vibed really well just because we like are on the same personality spectrum. I don't know.
So, what changes did you guys see in Russ then as you started dating?
Oh,
So
he
much
talks
more.
so much more.
Like so much more outgoing. It was weird. It was great. He actually was like fun. Like, he danced at a wedding. That's a big deal.
He like would see us a lot more than he used to too.
Yeah, we hung out more, and yeah, he would dance, and it's just like more fun.
She sounds dance.
She makes it fun. Yeah, I know.
I didn't see that, but
no, but really, it was really cool. It's like, wow, he like,
yeah,
she
she
really
brought
takes you out of his
out
comfort zone, or like, it doesn't even seem like it's out of his comfort zone. She brings out
so
the best in him, which was so cool because.
And we never saw that. I never saw that growing up.
I didn't grow up with him, but in the short 7 years I've known him, he was never very annoying.
Long time.
Much more fun now.
So what kind of moments stood out to you guys today? Seeing her in the dress, watching your brother get married?
She looked beautiful. But when her cousin started crying, I was like, we didn't cry. We probably look like the worst people.
I don't actually cry ever, so.
Yeah, I'm a crier, and I would cry because I've seen it before. But.
It was cool because our parents, so her dad married my mom, and they got married here 5 years ago, so that was kind of the cool part to me. It's like, oh, there's so cool, like 5 years later, another happy story, to get married in the same place, which was really cool.
Did Russ tell you guys he was going to propose ahead of time, or did you find out afterwards? Were you just part of that?
Really proud of her. My son was the ring bearer, so.
I mean, even though no one really saw it.
Yeah, he was full of bullshit. He failed me.
How dare he?
Come on, I know, but it's alright. He's still cute. Yeah, so we were the first. Me and my son were the first stop on his like proposal, which was really cool. We met him in zoo, and
I was in twice, obviously.
So what kind of feelings did you guys, when they go back and watch this video 20 years from now, what kind of feelings or what do you guys want them to know about their wedding day? 20 years from now when they're watching this, like, hey, this is what my sisters thought or feeling, or what they want us to know looking back. What do you want them to remember most?
I think it's hard because I feel like they already kind of know. Like we've been through a whole year of the planning. But I don't know, like they're just a very special couple. Like I've never seen anything like it. So I think that it's good to remember everything that they went through and everything that they have
it's a
today.
lot of planning, a lot of.
Like Erin, like she put so much towards this day and like.
To remember to keep putting that much towards your marriage.
And the other
crushed it.
Crushed it. Hashtag. Another hashtag.
And the other final advice for him?
Just make sure that we're the godparents.
I need some cousins for my son. He's getting old.
I mean, I'm probably not gonna get married, so.
Don't be so.
It's a joke.
If you don't remember my name 20 years from now, that's ASU education right there. That's what that means.
No.
True story. I'm sorry. Continue.
Tell me again, just real quick, how you guys first met Erin and what your guys' impressions were, how Russ kind of grew into that.
I first met Erin. I was out at a bar. As is usual, I'm sorry. And I invited him. And he was like, I'm going to bring this girl I'm dating. And I thought, that's weird. Russell doesn't date girls normally, but okay, cool.
Normally, he usually dates guys.
Normally, he switched. Anyways, the change I saw, So anyways, so he shows up with this girl, and I'm expecting her to be super shy and quiet like Russell. And she's super outgoing. She's like, hi, I'm Erin. I was very surprised because he's very shy, and it ended up working out really well because she brings out such a good side of him. He's so much more outgoing, and he talks more, and he's fun. It's just like they complement each other really well. So that's what I first noticed back in June of 2013. I mean, January, damn it.
I was like,
see, this is what happens.
2013. I met him. I met her.
I know,
like,
I messed up.
in
Can you just, it's your turn. Short and sweet.
Yes, short and sweet. I was the last one to meet Erin because he was scared that I was going to scare her away. But here we are, really close because we're very close in personalities. And
became sisters like immediately.
Any final advice from her? I really like that you guys said earlier just about put as much effort into her marriage as she did to this day.
Yeah. 20 years from now, she should put as much effort into her marriage as she put into this wedding, because she put a lot of effort into it. It's very important to her, and hope she remembers that, because I think that will definitely help encourage a successful marriage. I don't remember.
And for me, I would say just remember family, because we're
Pretty awesome, yeah. We're the most important people.
We're really great, so. And she is too, obviously.
And she fits in because we're all very humble. And
so humble. I mean, look at us.
It's true. We have so much we could not be humble about. And we're also the funny ones. I don't know if you guys noticed.
We are the best ones, right?
Oh, no, but I forgot my other thing. I already said that,
more?
didn't I?
Okay.
If they don't remember who I am 20 years from now. ASU education. Bear down! That's all I have to say. It's my life advice.
I'm Russell's stepmom. Married his dad about 5 years ago.
And you're the one that found the photographer, right?
Yeah, he did our wedding, and he's awesome, and we love him. So
He's great.
very excited that he could do their wedding. And we also got married here in Chiricahua, so that's also kind of becoming the family location for weddings, I guess.
So is that why he did the proposal here? They told us about
I don't know if that's why he did it here, but it is a beautiful spot, and I know he knew Erin loved it up here, and of course we are very biased because we got married here, and so we approved of the location.
Tell me about Erin. When did you guys find out that Russ was dating somebody?
Well, Russell doesn't, he's not a chatty kind of guy, so he didn't ever really tell us when he had dates or anything, and he had started dating Erin, as everybody knows, on 12/12/12. It's a broken record, but in January, he was kind of talking about he met someone, and we're jokingly, because we're kind of obnoxious with our kids sometimes, like, well, when do we get to meet her? And he said, how about Friday? And we were like, Friday? Wow, this has never happened. So we knew there was something there that hadn't been there before, because there's no way he would expose her to us that soon. But it's like he wasn't afraid, so and it was fun, and we met her, and she fit right in.
She was talking about how much she loves your family and how welcoming you guys are. Just tell me what characteristics you guys were like, yeah, she's perfect for him.
Well, I think we're, she's very different from Russell. He's really kind of more of a quiet, reserved, very rational, very even-tempered, and she's, a lot more lively and emotional at times. And so we saw that Russell liked the compliment that she was to him, and vice versa. I think Russell kind of calms her down and, lets her know that love doesn't have to be because of anything, because you did something or because, there was some amazing sunset. It just is always with you. And when you have that kind of love, you can have fun, and it's great. And so it's the complimenting of one another that we said, yeah, this is good.
When did do you guys know about the proposal before? When did you kind of figure out that she was
Well,
around?
we were like bad influence, because Russell, he was very organized. He's in logistics, and we were really proud of him that he was organizing this amazing proposal. But we had plans to go to a Diamondbacks game, and we were supposed to meet her at Costco at like 3:40 or something. We're like, oh, well, we're meeting friends downtown and then going to the baseball game if you want to have her meet us at the baseball game, because we weren't going to give up our plans. So we ended up being a phone call in the whole process. But it was great because he knew, Erin will be mad if I put a ring on her finger and her nails aren't done. Erin will be mad if she's not wearing the right outfit. So he thought everything through, which just shows how much he knows her. So we were pretty proud of him for that. It's like, good job.
Have you seen him grow or change at all since he started dating her?
I think I see him very happy, but he's always just been awesome, and I get zero credit for that because he lost his real mom, and I came into his life when he was in college, and he's just always been very impressive. And everybody says, oh, Russell, he's such an impressive young man, and I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's really no credit to me at all. But I'm honored to be in his life and be here today. And his dad, he's a lot like his dad, and his dad is amazing. So.
That's awesome. How do you think is going to be watching her come down her aisle and them getting married today? What kind of expectations or hopes do you guys have for today?
I think just that they're both very happy and they enjoy it, and she's put hours and hours into planning, and who cares? You could take all of this away, and if it's the two of them making their commitment to one another, that's what should make the day special. So we want it to be a happy day.
Perfect. Any final advice for them?
You both need to allow each other, like, grow with each other to come to the middle. Don't pull one another too much to the side. And I think in the toast tonight, Keith will give the words of wisdom. So.
Oh, I would be the mother of the bride, Diane, the mother of Erin, and who's marrying Russell today.
And how do you feel about that? How do you feel having your daughter
I'm
get married?
delighted that she found a wonderful guy.
When did you first hear about Russ?
Oh, gosh, I think 2.5 years ago.
Yeah? What was your first impression when you got to meet him?
What a brain.
Yeah? I've heard he's pretty sturdy kind of guy.
And what a gentleman also. I'm thrilled.
And go ahead and tell me about when you heard that she was engaged to Russell. Did you know that they were going to get engaged?
No, I didn't. I got a surprise phone call on a Saturday during a scavenger hunt where Russell planted clues for Erin to find, and the final clue was to come here, at which he proposed to her right here at Desert Mountain.
And what do you think about Russell? What do you think he does for Erin? How does he make her feel?
Oh, he has a subtle control over her that calms her down, and that's perfect. And my first impression of him was, what a brain.
Have you seen Erin change at all as they've been dating?
She's much calmer and much happier to have a companion.
And how do you feel seeing her in her dress today? What was it like seeing her get all ready and realizing she's about to go down the aisle?
Oh, I've never seen a more beautiful bride.
Is she your only daughter? Or
Uh-huh. And her brother's in the wedding party, so I just got to see him a second ago.
The only daughter getting married
He
today.
looks handsome.
How do you imagine today going? What do you hope for today?
That breeze continues because it's really nice right now. No, everything's going to be very smooth. The two of them are so organized, and they have wonderful friends and support system. I'm so fortunate because I'm pretty far away in Ohio.
And do you have any advice for them?
I wrote some things on, they're passing out little advice cards, and I passed them out to just love and respect. I gave her a love and respect book, and that's all.
What do you hope for their future?
I hope for grandchildren. Thank you.
Is that it?
Anything else?
Good.
Yeah?
Is there anything else you want to ask?
Anything else you want to say? When Erin looks back at this in 20 years, what do you want her to remember that her mom was feeling on her wedding day?
Such happiness for her. Very lucky that she found Russell.
So did you guys travel to be here today?
We traveled from further away in Phoenix.
Okay.
So
about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Good enough. Okay, so tell me about the first time you guys heard about Erin then. When did you kind of meet her, first impressions?
So first time I met Erin, I actually work in a restaurant. Russell reached out to me and said, hey, I'm going to go on this first date. I want to bring her to your restaurant. So I set up, I had a table ready for them. And I didn't get to know the Erin that I know now that night. She was a little bit more reserved, probably given first date situation as well as not knowing me. But that's where I got to meet her. And I don't know, it was a pretty standard like first date, you know, all the ins and outs that you would expect with that. But but at that time had no idea what it was going to turn into. You know, you always kind of wonder, but it was definitely cool to be a part of.
And I met Erin at a different time. I met her a few weeks later at the Phoenix Golf Tournament, and she had Skybox tickets where she got free alcohol. So the first time I met her was when she was stuffing
Open
a dozen beers into her purse to bring out to us so that we didn't have to pay for them.
She was definitely a champ.
It was definitely not the reserved Erin that you met.
No.
But
right.
I liked her nonetheless.
Yeah.
So when in the relationship did you guys kind of see that transition to be like, okay, this girl's going to be around a while. Like, this might turn into something that obviously is happening now today?
I don't know. I feel like, I mean, looking back on it, there was no like one point that stood out. I think beyond the first encounter, like you always kind of felt that that was a possibility, and the more that they spent time together, the more that became realized. And yeah, for me, I don't know if there was any one moment that stood out, but I think you always kind of, right, it seemed real. It just seemed not forced. It wasn't something that they were trying to make happen. It's just something that was happening, and that's, I think, what made it special. So, yeah.
Any other moments, memories with them where you were kind of like, did you guys see Russell grow at all or change?
I think they kind of balance each other out. It's actually similar to us in the sense that one of them is more outgoing and the other is more reserved, and so they kind of bring the other side out of each other, and I don't know, it's kind of fun to see how they balance each other out and how they make each other better.
Yeah, I definitely see Russell balancing Erin's spending of money, and I appreciate that because I can relate to it. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm just saying. No, but I mean it's something we've been able to relate to, which is more of a personal thing. You know what I mean? You hope everybody can kind of take away from it, but it's been a great journey to share with them, I'll say. So yeah.
So what sort of attributes did you guys see in Erin that brought that out in Russell, or like what makes them such a great couple? Because they're obviously crazy in love. Everybody is so happy to come from all over to see them.
Right.
Well, Russell's definitely a little bit more reserved and thinks these things through. He's got that like analytical brain, whereas Erin is very much outgoing and a go-getter, and she wants to do things now and make this happen. And I don't know, I guess those are the major attributes. What do you think?
At the end of the day, they're just real. You know, you don't feel like you're like interacting with people that are putting up a front. It's just you always know what you're going to get when you're with them, and that makes you more comfortable with them, and it makes you appreciate them more. And in a world with whether it's social media or whatever it is, when you can get people that are genuine, it's something that you cherish and want to be around and want to bring out in yourself because you recognize it in other people, and that's something that they're very consistent with that I think we appreciate and we enjoy, and we want to make sure, just in almost a selfish motive, we surround ourselves with as much as we can, and having them be so close to us. I mean, they live just a few blocks away, and even if we're going on a run, we can stop by, and they're always welcoming, and there's just a lot of good, down home, real deep-rooted things that we are very thankful to have available to us, and that they contribute to our lives in that way. Yeah, it's good.
What was your guys' favorite part today? Was there anything special that stood out to you, maybe during the ceremony, or just maybe a dress for the first time, anything like that?
I'll let you go as someone that was in the audience, I guess.
Well, from my end, and from being, Russell's cousin, knowing him for the time period, is just the time that they took to dedicate toward his mom, who unfortunately was not able to be here today. And it's been, years that it took to get through that time period, but you can really see how much Erin cares about his mom, a woman who she never even met, and how meaningful it was, even just to me, to see how she took the time to make sure that his mom was honored, and to know that when as she was marrying Russell, that she was going to kind of assume that role, that like motherly role that he was not able to have for a time period.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the same. I mean, asking us isn't fair because we actually got married at the same venue, so there's a lot that's special to us. And being able just to like celebrate another person, and to us it's almost like we get to be selfish and celebrate just this environment and what it means to us on our own personal level. But I would actually piggyback on what Catherine said is, for me, I never got to meet Gail. I know on knowing Catherine's family, Russell and Erin, as long as I have, and I'm probably coming up on 10 years, like being associated and gaining exposure and knowing them on a more intimate level. But what stood out to me was when that portion of the ceremony was happening and just seeing how emotional Russell got, and knowing how deeply I care for him and how strong his emotion was. Like I couldn't help but almost become emotional myself. And yeah, it was, I mean, it's just good. And again, I think, not to get redundant, but like that's the realness, you know, that was like an example of that being lived out, and that there's no detail that isn't worth spending time like recognizing and bringing to the surface and allowing yourself to feel it. And I mean, being up on the altar with them, looking out to the audience, you saw how real and how powerful that moment was, and I think that just made it that much more memorable to me. As great as food and all that other stuff is, like that's life, you know, and I think that that's something I will have a hard time forgetting and most likely never will. So yeah.
How long have you guys been married?
It'll be 3 years in November, and we dated, what, 7 years almost before that. So the 3 years is totally worth celebrating, but we definitely feel like it's been much longer than that ourselves. So
what kind of advice do you guys have for them? Title advice?
I would say, I don't know, I'd say probably what we wrote on our little card at the table is just make sure you make time for each other. You know, in today's day and age, life gets really busy.
Make each other the priority.
Yeah, and don't make excuses to not, because that's when your priorities get shifted. And I think that's, I mean, if we're going to give 1 or 2 tidbits of advice, that'd probably be it. So, yeah.
All right, my name is Michelle Hansen. I am best friends with Erin and Russ, and that became official last night after the name tags.
That's true. All right, so let's see, I met Russ through a guy named Nick the Prick, who is this random guy that I met in South Africa who is one of my best friends now. And I met Darren through Russ because they started dating, and then we entered the picture. I think he said something like, if you don't get along with these two, we're done. And so that was
and here we are.
And here we are today, to this day, still surviving.
Okay, so go ahead and tell me when you guys first heard about the other. When did you guys kind of figure out that they were dating somebody and how they felt about that?
Russ was actually at our house, and he said, well, I'm dating this girl, Erin, and we
and met. She has red hair.
And she has red hair, and she thinks it's really weird that I'm hanging out with a married couple.
Yep.
And that was the very first thing that I've ever heard about Erin.
Yeah, we talked to her on the phone during Christmas before we met. Well, they had been dating almost 2 weeks, so it was getting pretty serious.
It was official at that point.
I talked to her for maybe an hour.
12, you know, it's the date.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what did you guys first think when you guys met Erin? Then what did you guys think of her? Did you guys see any changes in Russ?
I don't remember that. Do you?
The first thing I noticed about Erin was her very first nickname that was given to her, Aggressive Erin. But now it's just Erin. She's calmed it down a little bit. So never forget her side arming the bowling ball when we went bowling. So that was always great.
Terrific bowler. We competed against them. They ended up, I think Russ got in like 110 in bowling, and Darren got maybe 40.
And she said she was having a really off night.
It was just an off night. That's the only problem.
So did you guys see any changes in Russ? Like, when did you guys start thinking this was like gonna be a thing, like they could potentially end up married?
Well, Russ is just giddy. So he was just like, Erin's coming. And that was really cute and fun to see that. But I really knew when I met Erin, and we talked about it so much, and it was so amazing to kind of see the relationship grow from, 12, 12, 12 to what it became today. So really Erin was huge.
I don't know, I was cheering for it the whole time because I'm like, this girl is crazy fun, and I hope they stay together because this is like, because Russ was like here, and Darren is like, I can't reach that high. So I don't know, the combination of them, they kind of like balance each other out.
What traits do you guys think they have as a couple that makes them work so well together? Usually they're crazy about. What do you guys think?
Just the kisses.
The kisses, oh, the kisses are good.
Yep.
The balance, really. I think the best word for them is their balance. They balance each other out so well. Like Michael said, they're up here, Erin's up here and Russ is down here, and when they're together, they meet at a perfect point.
They're a lot of fun, they're very thoughtful, and they're always fun to be around in any situation, pretty much. They bring the party. We try to bring the party, but they kind of they stepped up our game a little bit.
Yeah.
Cool. So what do you guys see for their future? What kind of hopes, dreams you guys have for us?
Probably 2 boys and a girl, I'd guess. And then a cat.
Definitely a cat.
Definitely a cat. They always talk about wanting a cat. Ever since day one, they're like, if we could just get a cat, like have in the desert, just like bring him outside, play fetch.
More like a black lab. Erin loves text more than paper.
Yeah.
What advice do you guys have for him?
Advice. God, I think some of the best advice that was given to us is some of the most cliche, but, like not sweating the small stuff, don't go to bed mad. Those things are really important in a marriage.
I would say enjoy it, recognize that this is something special, and you never want to take it for granted.
I'm Liza, and I've known Erin since 7th grade.
Okay, and when did you first hear about Russell?
We both went home for Christmas break in December 2012 for ZBB concert and New Year's Eve. And Erin told me about this guy, Russell, who wrote her a special Christmas card.
When did you first meet him? What was kind of your first impression?
Russell came to Denver, I think, a couple months after they met. And at first I didn't think that he could handle Russell, handle Erin, but I went to one breakfast with him and I knew he was probably the only person who could handle Erin.
What kind of traits do you think they both have that make them such a good couple?
He is the most calm, level-headed, sweetest guy, and Erin is crazy and fun and wild and outgoing, and they couldn't be better compliments.
So did you know, did you ever have a period where you were like, yeah, they're totally getting married, that he's the one for her?
So September of last year, Erin made a public statement that she needed a full year to get married, and so Russ better hurry up. He proposed a month later.
And were you part of that proposal?
I was, I think, step 11. I told her actually how to get here, but naturally I got lost. Yep, but it all worked out.
So how did you feel standing up there next to her while one of your best friends got married today?
I couldn't be happier. She's so happy, and I'm worried what she's going to do post-wedding.
Do you have any hopes for their future or things that you see them doing together now that they're moving on as a married couple?
I hope Erin can focus and learn to be 1 ounce of as selfless as Russ. And I hope Russ the best of luck. He is such a great guy, and I couldn't be happier for him.
Do you have any advice for them going forward?
Don't have kids right away and move to Denver.
My name is Jory Ragland, and I have known Erin for about 20 years. We grew up together as neighbors, and then I met Russ just when they first started dating, so I guess about 3 years ago.
What was your first impression of Russ when she first told you about this guy? Did he sense anything might be a little bit different from the guy she previously dated?
My first impression of Russ was he was just super calm and really, really patient, which is perfect for Erin because she's all over the place. And he was just really, really sweet and a really good person, and I could just tell that he was crazy about her, so I loved that too.
Did you know that they were going to get engaged? I know he had this kind of elaborate plot. Were you involved in that at all?
I was involved in the engagement, yeah. He did all these steps and included a lot of people that she was close with, friends and family members, and so yeah, there was one step, I think I told her where to go next or something. She was to call me, and at that point she called me and she knew what was happening. Like she was crying and she was like, this day is so special, I can't believe it. And I was just like, I know, just follow the steps. And yeah, it was really special.
Have you seen Erin change or grow in any way since you started dating Russ?
Oh my gosh, I've seen Erin grow so much since she's been with Russ. Erin's always been kind of like I said, just all over the place, and you don't know what she's gonna do next. And she had sort of dated a couple other people, but nothing serious. And it was like, who's gonna calm her down? And when she met Russ, it was just like, that was it. And she wanted to spend all her time with them, and she was so much more calm and like wanted to make him happy and not hurt him. And yeah, she's definitely grown up a lot since she's been with Russ.
So, how did you feel standing next to her today while she was getting married? What kind of emotions were going on? What kind of hopes did you have for today?
Today, standing next to her was kind of just surreal. I mean, we grew up together, and she always called me her sister growing up. I always called her my sister, and I actually was thinking about it as I was standing there, like, oh my gosh, we've talked about this day for so long, since we were little, and here it is. And it was so special, but also kind of like, is this really happening? You know, it's kind of hard to be in the moment sometimes when it's just such a special moment.
Now, how do you see their future? I know they've joked about getting pets and babies. What kind of things do you hope for them going forward?
For their future, I know they'll have just a happy, really fun life together. I think there'll always be a lot going on. If I know Erin, she'll make a lot of fun stuff happen. And I don't know, I see them having kids and being really involved with their kids and really caring parents, and I don't know, just growing together and just being really happy.
Do you have any final advice for them as they're starting their life? I know they've been dating for a couple of years, but now they're married. It's totally different.
Yeah. Well, I'm not married, so I feel like I can't give marriage advice, but just knowing Erin, my advice would be for Russ to continue to be patient and to just embrace her craziness and how fun she is and all the things she has to bring to the table, and for them to just always remember what they love about each other and to focus on the positives, and that will help them continue to grow and have a happy life together.